Understanding your moon sign means understanding what you need in order to feel good in life, understanding your emotions, and understanding the emotions and what your loved ones and friends and family members need as well. Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor, Alexandra. Welcome to the Baby Elephant community. On this channel we talk about spirituality, self-development, and so much more. And today's video is all about getting to know yourself better and taking better care of yourself. And also how we can take better care of our loved ones by understanding them and what they need better. But mostly it's about you. Our moon signs, which you could find online in any astrology birth chart generator by entering your first and last name, date and time of birth, and location. You can find your moon pretty easily. Our moon signs, they symbolize and affect our emotions. It determines what we need in order to feel good, in order to feel taken care of. And that's why basing our self-care routine around our moon sign is super effective. I have a few tips about using your moon sign for self-care that are ubiquitous, they're applicable to all, such as using the elements and understanding where the moon is actually transiting during the time of your self-care. And after that, you can find the timestamp of your specific moon sign in the description below. And you could also check out different signs for people that you love, or maybe some sign that you resonate with more, and see if that works for you. Before we get into my tips, I want to give a big shout out to today's sponsor, which is Keen. Right now, I'm using this time as a way to get much deeper into my inner world and to develop my intuitive and spiritual practice. One of the ways I'm doing that, since I can't go out and see my astrologers or any spiritual advisors or connect with people in person like that, is I'm using Keen to connect to online astrologers and online psychic advisors. If you aren't already familiar, Keen is a website that gives you access to vetted psychics or intuitive counselors, astrologers, psychic advisors, and these advisors are available 24/7, and you can even make appointments with them for the future, which is so good for this time at home. If you want to dive deeper into your birth chart, into all that is you, Keen astrologers are available. They're on hold for you. And right now, any new Keen customer gets 10 minutes, a 10-minute reading for just $1.99 if you use my link in the description below, which is trykeen.com/Leeor10. What I really like about Keen is that you can develop a relationship with your psychic or spiritual advisor. And you can do monthly check-ins, monthly intention settings, chakra clearings. You can gain clarity on the significance of synchronicities in your life, and this is all done from the comfort of your house. So check out Keen if you haven't already. Thank you, Keen, for sponsoring this video. So for self-care, it's really important to incorporate a few things. For me, self-care has to cover the mind, the body, and the soul. The bodies are the hardware, the mind is the software, and the soul is the internet connection. So each one has to work together. There has to be synergy between all three. I think understanding the elemental components of our moon signs in order to understand our self-care better is super beneficial, because we do have this hardwired way that automatically makes us feel better. So for example, the water signs such as Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, they benefit from being in and around water. This heals the trinity of the mind, body, and soul for them. And then on the other side of the spectrum, there's earth signs who benefit from earthing, anything that is grounding and nourishing and rooting into the ground. You will see more of these patterns when you explore your sign more thoroughly. Another note about self-care that isn't discussed here too much but is super important is each moon sign has their own boundaries. Their boundaries for themselves, for their work, for their relationships, for their families, and for their friends. And understanding the boundaries for your specific moon sign will help your relationships and will make sure that your energy isn't being depleted by people who are, crossing your boundaries, crossing those lines with you. So for me, for example, as a Scorpio moon, I need to be alone a lot. Like, I need my alone time. So I don't always get that, but I still try to make it a priority to incorporate that alone time at least every week. And then there's a Sagittarius moon whose boundaries might be needing more independence, to feel like they're not tied down to plans or commitment, or whatever else would bring peace to this fiery moon. Each individual has different boundaries, and it's really beneficial to be acquainted with our own. Lastly, while it's important to understand that our moon signs are static, the actual moon does transit through each sign every 2.5 days. This means that our emotional energy is constantly shifting every few days. So a great way to infuse this understanding into your self-care routine is to look up what sign the moon is currently transiting when you are doing your self-care routine. The way that I do this is I Google the moon's ingress by signs, and it tells you for that date where the moon is. And then you can go here and you can take your moon self-care plan and combine it with the self-care plan of where the moon is currently transiting. So this gives you the most powerful combination of working with the moon, with its transits, and with your own needs. Lastly, I'd like you to please comment with your moon sign and what you do for self-care, because I know that there's a lot of things that I may not have listed over here. I've tried to create a thorough plan for each moon sign, but it's always good to get more ideas, and for people scrolling the comments, they're going to see what you do for yourself and they're going to try it out too. It's going to inspire them. I'd also like to know what you think about my readings. You know that I'm becoming very passionate about the language of the stars, and as I learn more, I fall more and more in love with it, and I want to share more of these things. So if they resonate, let me know. If they don't resonate, let me know. Without any further ado, let's get into the signs. Okay, I had to switch over here because it is a noisy day in the neighborhood, but now let's get into the signs. So let's start with our Aries. The Aries moon, in general, needs to be in environments where they can feel independent. So if they feel like they're being put into a mold, too much of a mold, or they feel like they have to live their life according to somebody else's needs or desires, they're going to be feeling really pent up. They're going to be feeling angry and frustrated. So ensuring that an Aries moon has some sort of feeling of independence is super, super important for them. When it comes to a self-care routine, Aries moons don't want anything complicated. So a couple of steps and heavy on the relaxation will do the trick. Mood lighting, their favorite music, a candle, a face mask, all that will do it for the Aries moon. The less finicky, the better. For the Aries moon who likes nature, a hike in nature alone is really healing and therapeutic. If hiking isn't your thing, taking a drive alone with some beautiful scenery and blasting your favorite music and just singing is super powerful for the Aries moon. This can feel like therapy to them. Just driving and singing with no goal, nowhere that they really need to go, just going for it. It's really important for the Aries moon to just be able to get up and go do something that they want to do. And for the more adventurous of the sign of the Aries moon, camping under the stars alone or with friends would be a super spiritual experience for them. Anything involving movement should be a part of the Aries moon routine, the self-care routine. And it should be done on a daily or every other day basis. And this could include dancing to loud music, a boxing class, a hot yoga class, high intensity interval training, anything to do to move around all that fire energy. And then after all that movement, a meditation in a sauna would really ground that fire energy again. Deep tissue massages with a lot of focus on the scalp is great for the relaxation of the Aries moon. Next we have Taurus. So the lunar Taurus needs to feel stable in their lives and stable in their relationships. And because we can't always control the way that our relationships are going to be, finding their own stability is really important for the Taurus moon. So a daily meditative practice will be really valuable to them. Taurus moons need to have a close group of friends that they feel like they can trust with their lives, and though their self-care habits focus mainly on their senses, it's very important for a Taurus moon to get out into nature, hug a tree, sit beneath a tree, dig your toes in some sand or some dirt and feel nature. Taurus moons love to be fussed over and taken care of, so anything from calling your parent and bonding for a bit, or having a full-on spa day where you are being taken care of, where you're getting massages, facials, all that will bring you to your center. Taurus moons need to feel like they're being taken care of and protected rather than being the ones taking care of somebody else. To truly allow themselves to feel rested, the Taurus moon should allow themselves to be a little lazy, which is pretty easy for them. They just have to make sure that they don't make it their life's habit. As Taurus moons are super sensual, they should do things that delight their senses. Anything from, think touch, taste, something beautiful to look at, even just a nice smelling candle, wearing a cozy robe, something luxurious that feels great on the skin, high-end skincare, and again, a nice spa day. For a great self-care day for a Taurus moon, you should implement good food, soft fabrics, and a lot of lounge time. Put on essential oils in a diffuser. Earthy scents are really good. Snuggle up in luxuriously soft PJs and really nice blankets and sheets, and order in your favorite food. Try to stay away from comfort food that is oily, fast food, and instead go for something deeply nourishing with root vegetables and herbs and things like that. And you can get a side of fries too. Next, we have the Gemini moon. Gemini moons need to be heard. They need to be listened to. It's really important for Gemini moons to feel significant in important places in their lives. So, for example, in their workplace, in their relationship dynamic, and in their place in the family, they want to feel like they're significant. And they are, inherently. Gemini moons do really well in a big group of friends in which they can socialize and exchange ideas. But this part of their lives would be taken care of also if they just find an outlet online where they can share their opinions, if they're more introverted and don't want to be around a lot of people. Because of their general social nature, a night with friends, bonding and playing games and sharing stories, all that is soul food for the Gemini. If you can't do that right now because of current events, Zoom FaceTime calls are really good for that back and forth of information and just, picking each other's brains. A good way to let everything they need to express out of them is through journaling. Consider doing a stream of consciousness journaling session in the morning or midday, just to let everything from your mind out on the paper. It's good for a Gemini to be able to see all their different views and all the different things that they're working through on paper. Gemini moons would also do really well with some journaling prompts for self-care so that they can analyze, question, and explore their thoughts. This will make them feel straightened out from the inside out. Gemini moons could also benefit from canceling all their plans and staying in to read about something awe-inspiring, something they can learn and talk about the next time that they do socialize. Self-development practices and even self-development, personal development seminars are really good for the Gemini moon, and so is letting out energy creatively with their hands, something like pottery or making music, even planting. This will balance out their headiness. Their self-care game will be stepped up even further if they can make their living and working situation super airy, open up a lot of windows, have a lot of light, and on a daily basis they would benefit from daily meditation. You're going to find that most signs are going to benefit from daily meditation, but some signs need it in order to really function. Cancer moons. So we all know Cancers to be super caring and in touch with their emotions, or completely lost and drowned, feeling like they're drowning in their emotions. Self-care is crucial for Cancer moons because they take on everyone's emotions like a sponge, and they're often the mothering or protective aspect of their relationship, families, and social dynamics. A Cancer moon should give themselves time, even once a day at bedtime every day, to get into bed early, get super comfy, cuddle up in bed, snuggle up with a loved one or a pet or even a stuffed animal, somebody you can cuddle on, put on some soft music or music that you like, a Himalayan salt lamp, maybe watch a favorite movie. Cancer moons can allow themselves to feel everything that they're feeling and release emotions through watching movies, especially ones that make them feel nostalgic, like movies from their childhood. Romantic comedies are really good for them as well. And on a daily basis, Cancer should have a strong conversation with themselves always, just talking to themselves, asking themselves, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Checking in with themselves, just taking themselves through what they're going through that day by speaking to themselves. It could be out loud or in their minds, or it could even be out on their journal. Speaking about journaling about emotions, releasing and emptying all emotions onto those pages, it's super therapeutic for the Cancer moon. And because they're so empathic, breath work, releasing all that pent-up stagnant energy through breath work is incredible for taking out that energy that a Cancer moon takes on from everybody else so lovingly. Taking care of others and, kind of being needy in relationships and dependent is very natural for a Cancer moon. So they have to continuously remember that their self-care and loving themselves has to be a priority also. I've seen two distinct ways, and of course this is just in general. It can change in so many different ways. We're all so different. We have different aspects to our charts. But I've seen two distinct ways that Cancer moon energy can play out. Sometimes they become overly mothering and they never give themselves time to let go and just have fun. And other times they're like little kids trapped in adult bodies who refuse to grow up. But in both situations, in both instances, the Cancer moon should give themselves plenty of time to just play. Time away from responsibility and taking care of other people other than themselves, and that will soothe their inner child. Going away on retreats, especially yoga, meditation, silent retreats, all that is really good for the super watery energy to just be released and to not take so much into their own cup, you know? Or their own plate. What are the sayings you have in this Anglo-Saxon world? If a retreat is impossible, obviously it's kind of difficult in our current situation, but retreating into our homes, which many of us are doing right now, is super effective. Make the home super warm and inviting, and let your imagination run wild and take care of yourself. Okay, so now Leo. The Leo moon, who has a lot of responsibility in their life, they've got to give themselves time off from everything to just be carefree and run around and explore the world, or at least explore their home right now, explore their inner worlds. What I've seen help my loved ones with lunar Leo in their chart is daily affirmations in the mirror. When they practice validating their own magnificence and incredible self-worth, they don't need that external validation that they so often do get from other people, but then they kind of can get dependent on that validation. What they want to do is to back that incredibly high sense of self-esteem with true self-love. So talking to yourself in the mirror and just being like, I am good as I am, I'm perfect as I am, and I love and accept myself no matter what, is really powerful for the Leo moon. Dancing to their favorite music is self-love for Leo moons, and this will raise their vibration super, super high. Pampering themselves and treating themselves to massages and facials, or making an at-home spa day where they practice self-massage and they do a fresh skin routine, something that smells citrusy and uplifting. All this is great for the Leo moon. Leo moon would benefit from a fun home-cooked dinner with friends in good company of people that they love and trust. High levels of self-esteem and self-sufficiency make it so that the Leo moon can basically practice self-love and self-care whenever they're doing something for themselves and not so much for other people. However, it could also become a way to expand and to grow for the Leo moon to practice doing more for other people and to become conscious of how good it makes them feel to do things for other people, because it does. It makes them feel really good. As long as their cup is full and they can do things for other people, being generous with their time and energy and knowledge and just being there for people feels really good to a Leo moon. Getting dressed up really nice and showing up looking incredible to a date or a Zoom date is a form of self-care for the Leo moon. And taking care of themselves and looking nice while even just at home makes them feel put together and straightened out. For the Leo moon, taking care of their physical takes care of their mental. So doing things that make your body feel taken care of, such as eating really well, working out, getting massages, dry brushing your skin, lotioning your whole body, self-massage. And if a Leo moon is going through a hard time and needs some extra self-love, extra self-care, they should perform a fire ritual in which they write down everything that is hurting them, everything that's upsetting them and coming up from them, and then light that paper on fire in a safe place, of course, in a trash can that's fireproof or whatever it is. Watching that fire burn, or simply even staring into a fire pit or a candle flame and getting into a trance, you know that trance you can get into when you're staring at fire? This is a magical self-care technique for a Leo moon. Virgo moons thrive in secure and simple environments. With too much chaos and disorder, they can feel really anxious and out of their element. A well-maintained and sustainable lifestyle is ideal for Virgo moons, and the Virgo moons can often be extremely self-denying. So making it a rule to have some sort of self-care routine that they do at least once a week is crucial for the Virgo moon's self-care routine. It should be on their non-negotiable list, honestly. Put on a podcast or your favorite music and cook yourself a healthy meal. Really getting into the act of cooking and listening and vibing and flowing, and use earthy foods and fresh herbs, root vegetables. All these things will really nourish the Virgo moon. I think that for Virgo moons, entering flow in whatever way makes sense for them is super nourishing. So whatever it is that you do, any hobby that you have, just losing yourself for a little bit is really good for the Virgo moon, who needs perfectionism and who needs to be on top of things and in control. So just letting go and losing who you are, losing the personality, and just being spirit creating is very beneficial to the Virgo moon. I almost spilled my coffee. So to deal with anxiety that comes easily to a Virgo moon, a yoga flow session in which you leave all your responsibilities, all your sensibilities at the door and really ground into your mat and leave everything off the mat and just be you. That's really crucial. That's going to really up-level your self-love and self-care. And on a practical daily level, cleaning up the house and organizing so that everything looks neat and clean, that makes the Virgo moon feel more in control of their lives. And so this could soothe their anxiety as well and be a form of self-care. Virgo moons thrive in routine, so they should prioritize moments of checking in with themselves during their day. Like, you can actually put this on your to-do list. Check in with myself. How am I feeling? How can I feel better? What do I need? And give yourself that, and stop denying that you need to have wants and needs too, right? You're a human. We all have needs. We all have wants. And it could be hard for Virgo moons to accept that sometimes. So just breaking apart your day with a section where you just sit down on the floor and be like, well, how am I feeling? That's really positive for the daily self-care routine of the Virgo moon. Libra moons. Libra moons need to surround themselves in beautiful environments in order to feel their best. Their self-care routine comes in beauty, in art, in design. Libra moons need a refined and stylish space on the outside so that they can feel good on the inside. And it's important that their living spaces and their workplaces are harmonious, that there's feng shui, that there's flow through the space. This will do a lot for their well-being. Cleaning and sprucing up the space, adding art, adding candles and crystals and things that are just beautiful, that will really raise the vibration of the daily environment of a Libra. Getting dressed and looking put together, even if you are home right now, even if there's nowhere to go, just doing that act for yourself is going to make a Libra moon feel so much better. Aside from tasteful art, plants, and candles, Libra moon should have minimal and peaceful living spaces that will create harmony and balance. So Libra moons need to connect to their spiritual selves on a daily basis, and they can do this through meditation as a daily practice. So start the day rising with the sun and doing a long meditation with the sun when everything is quiet and beautiful around you. That's super beneficial for a Libra moon. Libra should also create a sacred space for themselves that sparks joy, where they can do inner work and where they can meditate, somewhere where they go every day and that feels beautiful to them. Creating a beautiful Pinterest board of things that they love would be very therapeutic for the self-care and self-love routine of a Libra moon. Watching the sun rise, watching the sun set, this is therapy for a Libra moon, and just being in a beautiful natural scene is super healing. During their self-care day, watching a romantic movie will satisfy this Venus-ruled sign. Affirmations are also super helpful for Libra moons, and they should focus on words of safety, security, stability, and independence, like I am safe, I am secure, I am supported, I am guided. Because they tend to want to make everybody happy, they have to prioritize making themselves happy. Scorpio moons, hello, I am one of you. Scorpios must embrace all parts of themselves, especially the ones that they've hidden from the world most of their lives, in order to fully practice self-love and self-care. If they can enter their shadow world, their inner world, their subconscious, and face all the things that they're afraid to see, the things that they're afraid to accept about themselves, They'll come out with their shadows turned into light, turned into gold, integrated into their personality. The more we can accept ourselves, the better. The Scorpio moon definitely needs their privacy. While this does not mean shutting off the world, it does mean having, retreating and keeping things to themselves, staying a little bit private once in a while. I know that when I post too much on social media, I feel like I need to retreat and hide behind, or I'm scared that I'll be hurt because too many people have their attention on me or something like that. So just having a sense of privacy is really good for the Scorpio moon. Or having a part of their life that's just for them, that's not for everyone else to know about and look at. Scorpio moons need a lot of depth in their life and in their relationships, and they cherish communication with people who, like them, are willing to take the mask off and to look at themselves for who they really are. Whether they can do that with a person or not depends on the person, but Scorpio moons usually really want to see themselves more clearly. The Scorpio moon benefits from going deeper into things, their own inner work or their studies, their hobbies, just seeing new levels and new layers to what they're passionate about. A Scorpio moon has a hard time keeping up with a huge group of friends often, especially if they're an introvert or an empath. If they're an extrovert and if they're slightly less empathic, this might be easier, but usually Scorpio moons are nourished by a smaller circle or even just one friend that they know that they can trust and with everything, and they won't be judged for their weirdness. So self-acceptance is really important for the Scorpio moon, and while it might be a lifelong struggle, when it happens, it feels like a relief for the soul. It's therapeutic for the Scorpio moon to delve into magical things such as the mystery arts, studying astrology, tarot cards, exploring other worlds and dimensions through shamanic journeying, researching the mystic arts, reading quietly for a few hours. They must explore their emotions, deeply feel them, and accept them. Scorpio moons benefit greatly from being in or around water, so a hot bath, a hot bubble bath, or sitting by a lake, having a little water fountain in the home or in your room, or even listening to rainstorms or bubbling creek soundtracks on YouTube while relaxing is super beneficial for the Scorpio moon. Also naps, lots of naps. Sagittarius moon. So Sagittarius moon, to feel good, they need to allow their inner wild child to be free, to be able to explore as much as they possibly can and to live in the moment and enjoy everything that life has to offer. To soothe this aspect of them without buying a ticket and moving to another country and becoming a different person, Sagittarius moon should spend quality self-care time creating Pinterest boards with all the places they want to visit and the things that they want to experience. And this is really beneficial right now when we can't be traveling and we can't leave the house so much, right? So choosing beautiful pictures that open up the heart and the imagination, it's not only a self-care tool for the Sagittarius, for the lunar Sag, it's also a manifesting method. So I highly recommend doing that. When staying inside for self-care, reading interesting fiction books that transport them to another dimension, another reality. This is super nourishing for the lunar Sagittarius. Letting their imagination flow, losing track of time in another world, this soothes the part of them that wants to explore constantly and discover and learn new things. On a daily basis, Sagittarius moon should use affirmations for self-love, admiration, and recognition, why can't I speak? And give themselves the things that feel so good when they come from other people, but give it to themselves from themselves, right? So doing something that's a little bit different every single day is beneficial to the Sagittarius moon, who loathes monotony. Ordering in food that's exotic to you, something that you haven't had before from another country, another culture. This spices up the self-care day for a Sagittarius moon who loves trying and exploring new things. If you can, get in a car, get on a bus, go explore the next town over. If it's safe to do so. At the time of recording this, it's probably better to stick to Pinterest, but afterwards, go explore your city, go explore the next city over. Go, to Little Tokyo in your town, or Little Italy. Writing gratitude lists and sitting and meditating on those things, truly feeling all the blessings and how grateful they are, is really special to the Sagittarius moon. Spending time outdoors, experiencing the people and places you always dreamed of, even if it's through documentaries. Watching comedy stand-ups, so, on Netflix, and having a good laugh. Do things that make you feel open and alive. Capricorn moons. So Capricorn moons often feel like they're in their element when they're doing things for other people, especially when they're being generous with their time, with their resources, with their energy. They literally don't even think about themselves and will go out of their way to take care of other people and to do things for other people. So because of this, the Capricorn moon has got to find ways to prioritize themselves while also using their gifts of bringing joy to others as a way to make themselves happy, which that does happen. They do a lot of good for other people and it does nourish them. So a Capricorn moon will feel amazing about themselves if they spend an afternoon baking up sweet treats and then distributing them to their loved ones, their grandparents, best friends, neighbors, their male person. Because they have a knack for forgetting their own existence, forgetting their own needs and desires, a Capricorn moon should make it a priority to make a list of things they need in order to feel good, to feel safe, and to feel happy. So checking in with yourself and being like, what do I need in order to take care of me? What do I want? I matter too. So making a list of things that make you happy, doing something kind for yourself, such as baking. We were talking about baking before. Baking just for you and having a quiet moment. That's not about being productive. Eat that muffin in front of a good Netflix show and be okay with doing that. Taking time for a spa day, getting massages, either alone or with a friend or a partner. Perhaps scheduling one day a month to do this. This would be really beneficial for the consistency-loving Capricorn moon. Massages will help the Capricorn moon. Capricorn rules the skeleton, right? So getting a deep tissue massage allows them to really get into their body and release that stress that they are often carrying. Consider throwing out the to-do list for the day. Get the responsibilities that are non-negotiables out of the way early, then have some quality you time. Though a Capricorn moon normally might hold back on emotional issues, they're stable, they're the grounding force for everybody else. Letting yourself get emotional through things such as breath work, that'll be incredibly therapeutic for a Capricorn moon. So the breath work might make you feel uncomfortable, you're out of control, but the after effects will bring you so much peace. And hypnotherapy or guided meditation are ways to release that skeletal stress of the Capricorn moon as well. Aquarius moon. So while Aquarius moons thrive in their friend groups, they really enjoy being around people, alone time to do whatever they feel like is a must for them. They need time to break away from the group, break away from family and their partner and society as a whole, and just be on their own. So while they're on their own, they can enjoy their many themed playlist and create one that you filled with songs that go with their self-care and self-love routine. So make a playlist about how you're feeling that day and play them loudly, and just existing in that sound is a great way of emotional release for the lunar Aquarius. Aquarius moons will find painting, drawing, writing, anything creative and expressive to be super healing for them. Journaling about how they're feeling and how angry they are with society and what they're thinking and their ideas can be a huge release for them. Also, giving themselves time to exist within their imagination through visualizing, daydreaming while resting, and spending a lot of time in self-reflection, asking reflective questions. All this can be very therapeutic for Aquarius moon. For their self-care day, eating at an outdoor cafe. Again, this is not something that's possible right now, but after quarantine days, hopefully you can do this, or at least eating out on your balcony or outside on your street if you're allowed to, climbing a hill or a mountain and feeling the air on your face, going anywhere with an ocean breeze. All of these cleanse the energy of the Aquarius moon. Having deep discussions with friends, going deep and analyzing each other's childhoods and behavioral patterns, or just socializing on a super deep level is great for the Aquarius moon. Taking a long walk in nature, somewhere breezy, even while listening to that playlist that you made earlier, that's great for your self-care routine too. At home, they should open all the windows and let air flow through. Lots of good feng shui. Look into feng shui for letting air in, letting flow in, right? If you're a more introverted Aquarius, rather than going out and socializing with your friends, you can consider watching a TV show that has a large group of characters as the main characters, a group of friends, such as the show Friends. That will kind of make you feel like you're socializing and keeping up with people's lives when you don't really want to do it with people in your life. So that is helpful. Also, watching documentaries about aliens might make you feel more at home. Pisces, my Pisces moons. For a Pisces moon, emotional and energetic hygiene is critical. I'm talking to you, listen to this. Even if you feel you're okay, you gotta cleanse your energy. They are one of the most empathic signs. They really take on the pain of everyone that they love and the world at large, really. They can go for years and years carrying everybody else's issues and pain. So because of this, as a daily practice, Pisces moon should imagine that they are being cleansed by healing waters every time they shower, every time they go in a shower or in a bath. Just imagining that the water running over you is cleansing your auric, etheric, energetic, emotional bodies and, giving you a new blank slate to work with every day. A daily meditative practice in the morning and the evening can really bring the Pisces moon back into their bodies in order to ground them and keep them balanced, because they tend to be a little bit up there, right? Spending time on their own to work through how they feel and come back to a solid and stable place is really helpful for the well-being of a Pisces moon. So if they're going many months without checking in with themselves, they're just not going to be fully themselves. They're not going to feel good. In order to feel good, they need some time to retreat and to be by themselves and to feel their emotions and see what they're feeling and why they're feeling and what they can be doing about it. Their self-care routine should include a cord healing or cord cutting, depending on what you prefer, ceremony. I prefer cord healing. I have a video about it. I'll link it down below. This is so that they can disengage from all the cords they've created with everybody over the years that may be hurting them and dampening their vitality, because Pisces moons create energetic cords with literally everybody, the person across the street walking their dog, their mailman, everybody. It's important for a Pisces moon to have a peaceful sanctuary where they can retreat into, one where they feel protected from the world, somewhere cozy, warm, where they have everything they need. Turn off the phone, paint, watch a movie, play with your tarot cards, just enjoy time on your own. Taking hot bubble baths with candles, playing music, or watching a movie while you take that bath, swimming or sitting at the beach near the water, or going to a waterfall if you have one around you. All these are deeply cleansing for the Pisces moon. Great ways of self-care. And like I said earlier, daily meditation, a light yoga, moving the body around to move around all that powerful mystic energy, especially their anxious energy. This is all super beneficial for the Pisces moon. Pisces moon would also benefit from creating playlists for their moods to allow themselves to fully feel their emotions and to work through their emotions. It's also super important for Pisces moons to get out in nature and ground themselves so that they can feel a little bit more balanced with all that fairy energy. That's it for today's video on self-care based on your moon sign. Please let me know what your moon sign is and what you do for self-care. Let me know if this resonated and if you're going to try it out. Remember to check the transits, what the moon is transiting right now, so that you can combine the two signs and have a really powerful, in the moment, energetic connection to the moon, to your moon signs and that emotional center, and to see what will be best for your self-care. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you. I love you. And as always, until next time, keep your vibrations way, way, way up.